Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will show one Django project between the core operations of CRUD. Here I will show only two. That is one for insertion and the other for display. Okay, let's start the discussion. At first, this is one HTML page and where in this portion it is the number and here we can see home, add student, all students, and in this way we can add another options, but here limited features, that's why the options are limited here. One is add student and the other is all students, and home it is the purpose of showing the total students. And now I am explaining one by one. Here it is the total students page, and here we can see the number of students which are registered under the list. And now I am adding students, that's why I am clicking add student, and here I am showing one HTML page for adding student. Here it asks for ID, I am giving S001, and now I am giving name as Akash and surname as Mighty. Then I am coming date of birth and I am giving in this way. At first I am giving the year and then I will apply the month and day. Okay, and that's why I am at first giving the year 2011, and then I am giving one month January, then I am giving one 31st. Okay, and it is the date of birth and I am giving mobile number here, and now I am giving the mobile number, and now I am giving the email ID. Here I am giving email ha@gmail.com, and at last it asks for address. I am giving Kolkata, and when actually I am clicking on the button add student, it will usually adds the data of the student. That's why I am clicking on the add student button. Okay, and here we can see one message, student added successfully. It means it usually adds the data of the student between one dictionary, and the dictionary will be stored between one blank list. Okay, and which will be discussed by me after few minutes. Now I am coming to the all students portion, and here we can see the number of students with their data, but here is only one student, and for this region, we can see the data of the specific student which I already added. But here is only one student. That's why we can see the record of the one student. Okay. And I am coming to the home page. Previously, we can see here only zero because then there was no students. But now I added one student. That's why it shows total students one. It will be increment one by one after adding students. Okay, and now I will add another student, that's why I am giving one another ID is 002. Now I am giving name das, and now I am coming bob, that means date of birth. Previously I was clicking on this, but we can give in another way, just typing. Okay, and here I am typing 10, then 10 2008. Okay, and here I am giving mobile number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I gave 10 digit number, and now I am giving email ID as b@gmail.com, and at last it asks for address. I am giving Digha, and similarly I am clicking on add student. It will add the student added successfully. This message means the student added successfully, and I am coming to the all student portion, and here we can see the total students, and here only two students added by me, that's why we can see only two students. And similarly if we can add another students, they will appear in this page. And here I am coming to the home page. Previously it was one, now looks over here it is two. Usually it is incremented when I am just added student. Okay, and if I add another student now, the 2 will convert it to 3 because it will be increment by 1. That's why it will be 3. But now I do not do another insertion. Now I am coming to the code portion. Okay, and here I will explain the code line by line. It is the whole structure of my Django project as well as my app folder. And here we can see one student underscore project. It is the project folder, and similarly app underscore student. It is the app folder of our project. Now I am expanding one by one. At first I am expanding the student underscore project. It is the folder of our project. Okay, and here we can see many files and folders: ASGI, settings, URLs, views, WSGI. Similarly, one folder templates, and here also another folder app underscore student. Here also admin, apps, models, tests, URLs, views, etc. Now I am opening the settings.py of my project folder. It is very vital for our project, and here I am explaining one by one which are required. At first, I am calling the module OS, okay, because we can perform some operations of the module OS. That's why I imported the module OS. By calling the module OS, we can perform many operations of the OS module. That's why I called the module OS. Now I am coming to the install apps portion. The line number, actually this line, it is very vital for our project because previous lines are created automatically, but this line is created by me. Looks over here at first app underscore student. What is this? It is the folder name of our app. Actually, it is the name app underscore student. It is the folder name of our app. That's why I wrote app underscore student. Then dot apps. Here apps is what? Apps is one file under the app folder. And here we can find the file apps.py. It is this. Okay. And now got app student config, and it is what I am explaining it. Let's open the apps.py of my app folder, and here we can see one class name. But what is the class name? The class name is app student config. Just I copied it and pasted here. I pasted here. I am showing the place. Actually, I pasted it here, and it is all about the line. Now I am coming to the next portion, which are required to change or entered by us manually. It is the portion which I entered manually. Actually, when I create the project, then between the third bracket there was nothing. Okay, it was totally empty. But now we can see os.path.join between the parentheses base underscore dir, then after comma between single bracket templates. Templates is one of the folder of my project. Actually, it is the folder that is it templates, and here by calling the module OS we can perform the specific task. By this we just joined the templates folder with our project, and now I am moving to the next portion which are very important. This is the part which also important. By default, when we create one project, then the first slash was missing. The first slash was giving my by me, and similarly, the total part of this also was missing. It is the purpose of connecting the static folder with our project, just same as the previous where I connect the folder templates with my project. It is same as the templates. Here I connect the static folder, but previously I was connecting the templates folder. These are very similar. Here I wrote static files underscore dirs, then equal to, then between the third bracket with.path.join, then base underscore dir, then the folder name of the static. Actually static is the folder name, and this is here. It is the static folder. Okay. I am expanding the static folder, and between static folder also the folder CSS and JS. Now I am expanding one by one. At first I am expanding the CSS folder. There is only one file, that is style.css. Actually we know that CSS is the purpose for giving style to our HTML page, and it is the purpose of this file for creating here. Okay, and similarly one JS folder, and here also one JavaScript file, that is ajax underscore script.js. It is very vital. After few minutes I will explain it. And here in this way I connected the static folder with my project. Now I am moving to the urls.py of my app. It is no, actually I am explaining at first the URLs of my project. Then I will move to the URLs of my app. Okay, and here looks over here. Here I called some module for performing some operations. At first, from Django.contrib import admin means I am calling the admin module from Django.contrib. Similarly, I am calling the part and include module from Django.urls, and at last I called the module views from student underscore project folder. Okay, and here we can see URL patterns equal to between the third bracket, at first empty, then include app underscore student dot urls. Actually it is the urls file of my app. That is it. Now I am opening it. Now the file urls.py of my project, that is app underscore student, has been opened. Now I am explaining it at first. Similarly, I called the module part and include from Django.urls, and here I called the module views from dot, and here urls URL patterns, and these are very vital point. Actually, it is the conclusion portion of our project, and it is very important for implementing different tasks of our whole project. Okay. At first, it is the routing purpose, and at first I uh, gave it as empty route, because at first when I will open the program, it will just show localhost colon 8000, and there will nothing, and that's why I am taking as empty route. And then views.home. Home is the function. um, Home is the function, and then name I am giving this route one name, that is home. Similarly, add underscore student, it is for routing purpose. Then views dot add underscore student, it is also one function between the views, and here I am giving one name, that is add underscore student. It is also same as the previous. It is for routing purpose. It is the function all underscore students, and at last the name. And now I am coming to the templates portion. Then I will move to the huge portion. Okay, now I am coming to the template folder. I am expanding the templates folder, and here we can see some folders as well as some files. Now I am expanding the include folder. Here we can see navbar.html. Now I am explaining it. Actually, I am starting from base.html. Okay, it is the base HTML file. Here, just we connect the jQuery link, the Bootstrap link, and also the CSS link, and the file link of my JavaScript and CSS. At first, it is the link for jQuery, then it is the link for my local file of script ajax underscore script.js, that is this, and similarly, I connect style.css, that is this, and it is the link of CSS, and similarly it is the Syrian link for Bootstrap. Okay, now I am moving to the next part, and looks over here. Here also we include the navbar. Now I am explaining navbar.html. It is the upper portion menu where we can perform different tasks. Actually, I explained the options where we saw home, add student, all student. These are the portion between the navbar.html. Okay, now I am coming to the next portion, that is between the student folder, that is home.html. Here between Jinja template, I am extending base.html. That means just it is one inheritance, just inheriting the features from the base.html, just without writing the features of the base.html, we can perform the features here, and that's why I wrote extends base.html. And here I am loading the static files. Static means between static. We can see the style.css same as, and also the JS file ajax underscore script. And here it is very normal thing, that is the ht tag welcome to students homepage, and here total students, and here I am passing the total students, but it will be explained after some minutes. After explaining the views, then it can be understand in better way. Okay, now I am moving to the part views.py, and here looks over here. Here I calling the module render and redirect from Django.shortcuts. Similarly, I called the module http request, http response, json response from django.http. Okay, and here I took one empty list, that is student underscore list, and here it is one function based view named home, and request is one parameter which is http request type, and it will give one http response. And here total underscore students equal to len of student underscore list. Actually we know that len is one method of list. Actually it returns the length of the list, and it is the purpose of counting the total students. Okay, because here each member of the list is one dictionary, and one each dictionary contains the data of each student, and in this way we can perform the count of all students between the list, and it is the purpose of total underscore students. And here return render request then student slash home.html, and here I am passing one context total underscore students colon total underscore students. Actually total underscore students is the value of the number of students between the list, and here I am passing the value total underscore students between this, and it is transferring to the page of home.html. And now I am opening the home.html, and here looks over here between double curly bracket total underscore students, and it is comes from the view page, and it will show the total students of the list. Now I am moving to the views.py again for explaining the another function based view. The next function based view is add underscore student. Similarly, the request is one parameter which is http request type, which will usually returns one http response. And here I am taking one conditional statement if where request dot method equal to post. When it will satisfy, then the code of this will execute. Neither it will normally return render request student slash add underscore student dot html. Normally, when if part will not work, it will normally render the template add underscore student. Now I am coming to the page add underscore student.html. Okay. Now I am opening the add underscore student.html. It is one HTML page. It is for inputting the data of the student. That is the add student page, which I already discussed in Chrome browser. Now I am explaining the code. At first, I am inheriting the features of base.html. Then I am loading the all features of static. Then it is for title purpose, and it is for body tag. And here I am just giving one heading add student, and then I am passing CSRF token. It is very important for security purpose. Just it prevents the data of appearing in the URL portion. Okay, and it is very vital in our Django program for security purpose. And now I am explaining these options. It is very similar. It is same as also like this, and I am explaining this, and then others will be very clear. Okay, now I am explaining the first div. It is for input ID, and input type here is text, and I am giving one name student underscore ID. For accessing it, after some times, and the name is very important. Then class form control ID input ID placeholder enter ID. Actually, it will showing user for giving enter ID, and then value is empty. Similarly for name, similarly for date of birth. Just here something is different. That is input type is date. Previously was text. It is different, but the rest of the thing is very similar to the other portion. And it is for mobile, it is for email, it is for address. And now I am discussing this part. It is something different from the upper portion. It is button. And here button type equal to submit class is button primary id each bit tn register. It is also important. After sometimes we can understand how important it is. And here at student it is the name of the button, and here I am taking one empty div, just giving one id msc for accessing it later. Now I am moving again to the views.py. I am expanding it. When request.method equal to post it satisfies, then it starts work. But I am explaining the Ajax portion, then I will come back this portion, then it will be better way for understanding. Okay, now I am coming to the Ajax underscore script.js. It is very important. Ajax is very important because if we implement Ajax in our program, we can perform different tasks without refreshing our page, which is very smarter way to perform any project. That's why it is very important to implement Ajax where it is required. And here I am explaining one by one. At first $document.ready, then function console.log Ajax ready. Just it will show one message Ajax ready in the console of our browser. Then dollar, then I am accessing the name of the, no, actually ID of the button, that is btn register, which I already discussed previously. And here then click function event, then event dot prevent default. It means it prevents to load by default. Okay, and here I am taking some constant type reference student id. Then between dollar sign input name equal to student id, then val. Actually student id is the name in our template I am showing here. Then it will be better way to understand. Just it looks over here, name equal to student underscore id. Similarly student name student dob, which will appear in our ajax file. Student name, student dob, student mobile, student email, student address, and at last it is for security purpose csrf middleware token. And here I wrote console.log student id, student id, student name, student dob. It is actually for initial debugging. If the values are not passing, then we can understood if there any error occurred. Then we can debugging the error initially without major error. Then $.ajax, I am passing the URL for routing purpose, then method colon post, then data here I am taking just key value where student id, student name. In this way, the rest of the fields are here. And I am coming to the views portion again. Now I am explaining it. Then it will be better way to understand. If request.method equal to post, when I am clicking on the button, then the portion will work. Okay. At first, I am taking some reference s underscore id, s underscore name, s underscore dob, s underscore mobile. Similarly for email and address. Just I am taking in this way s underscore id equal to request dot post dot get student underscore id. Actually, it is returned by my Ajax file from here. Okay, student underscore id. Similarly, student underscore name, dob, mobile is also returned to the views page. Okay, these are that returned from Ajax. And here, if not all SID, S name, SDOB, S underscore mobile, S underscore email, S underscore address, then it will show one error message. Actually, here I am returning one JSON response. Actually, JSON file always accept in this way, just like JSON response. And here I am passing two keys, status and message. In status key, I am giving the value error, and in message key, I am giving the value all fields required. And I am coming to the Ajax portion, just like this here. When error, it will print the message between the MSG div. And for accessing the message, I wrote response.message. Actually, when error occurred, then it will store a message in the div, and similarly, it is for success purpose. And I am coming to the views portion, and when everything is okay, then I am creating one dictionary, student underscore dict, and here the left hand side are the keys and the right hand side are the values. The keys are student underscore ID, student underscore name, student underscore DOB, student underscore mobile, student underscore email, student underscore address, and the values are SID, SNAME, SDOB in this way. And now student underscore list is the empty list which I already taken previously, and now I am appending the dictionary to the list. And here every dictionary holds the data for different student, and here the student underscore dict holds data of one student, and now it appending to the list student underscore list. And here when everything is okay, I am returning one JSON response. In this way, the keys are status and message, and status is success and message is student added successfully. Okay, now I am coming to the Ajax file. Looks over here, when success colon function response, error already explained by me. This portion now I am explaining. When response.status triple equal to success, then I am accessing the portion of the div. The idea of the div is MSG. That's why I wrote between the double quotation has MSG. By this way, we can access the specific div, and now .html, and between the backtick I wrote this, just dollar sign between the curly bracket and response dot message. It takes the response from the views. Actually, this student added successfully. Okay, and at last error function alert error something went wrong with Ajax. But if any other error occurred, then the message will be this error something went wrong with Ajax. It will appear under the alert section. Now I am moving to the another portion. It is all about the Ajax portion. Just this code starts execute when just I am clicking btn register. That is this portion I am showing you. That is the this portion add student. When I am clicking, then Ajax starts work. Neither it not works. Just when I am clicking add student, then Ajax will start work. Now I am coming to another portion, that is all underscore students. That is for this page, all students. Okay, now I am coming to this. At first, extends base.html. It is just inheriting all features from base page, and then I am loading the static, and then it is for title purpose all students. And now I am coming to this portion. It will normally student list. It is just one heading for understanding that it is the list of the all students. And here I am taking one table, and it is one class of the table for styling purpose, and here between the t head I am taking one t row, that is table row, and between table row I am taking some table heading, that is student ID. Also in this way, student name, student date of birth, student mobile, student email, student address, etc. Okay, now tier has been ended, and now also in this way t had also ended, and at last I am coming to the portion t body. It is the table body where the data of the student will appear. It is for just heading purpose, and these are the data which will be appeared on the page. And here looks over here, for student in all underscore students. Between this Ginger template, I wrote for student in all underscore students. Actually, it is one for loop. Actually, the student pulls one dictionary from the list all underscore students, and in each time student will hold one dictionary, and one dictionary each for one student. The dictionary holds all data of the student. In this way, in a iteration, in one iteration, it holds one student dictionary which just holds all data of the specific student. In this way, we can perform the operation for showing the data. At first, between the ginger template, we are showing student dot student underscore id. Just by dot, we are accessing the key that is student underscore id between the dictionary student. In this way, we are accessing student underscore name, student underscore dob, student underscore mobile. In this way, the rest of the fields email and address. And at last, it is for ending the for loop. And in next iteration, the student reference will hold another dictionary which will hold the data of the another student, and in this way it will iterate until the dictionary of the list has been ended. In this way it will show the data of the all students, and these data are appearing here. And here I am explaining the two portion of CRAFT, that is create, that is insertion, that is the add student, and it is for displaying the added students. And that's why I am covered C and D of CRAFT, and in future video I will show you the all CRAFT operation of one project. That's all about today's program. Thanks for watching.